Hi, welcome to the Book Nook with Squirrel and I for Storytime. This week we picked out books about things that make us all happy. What makes you happy? Maybe it's a certain food. We have a Winnie the Pooh book about that. Maybe it's a walk in the woods. That is my personal favorite. Right about you, Squirrel. Yes. Maybe it's a change of seasons. Oh, I love this time of year when I pull out my sweatshirts and I think about apples and going to the orchard, which we are going to do next week. So stay tuned for next week's books. Well, we got help from a certain friend today, a special guest, for our first book, something that makes him happy. Should we introduce them to your friend, Squirrel? Oh, you think so? Yes. You'll still get to sit beside me. Okay. So this is Bear. Everybody say hi to Bear. And Bear picked out our very first book today because blackberries, a favorite food, makes him happy. Blackberry Banquet. All right, you guys know the drill. Click on those listening ears. Use those scientist eyes, and we'll get started. Blackberry Banquet. I always take my time so you can see every single picture as I read. Okay? In a wee green wood near a stream so blue grows a blackberry bush shining bright and with dew, on limbs so full hanging plump and sweet with the juiciest berries any critter could eat. Look at that. I love blackberries too, Bear. Mouse appears and she reaches high. That munching mouse gives a merry sigh. Squeak. Mmm. You can almost reach it. What do you think is going to happen? Who is going to try to get the blackberries next? Should we turn the page and see? Okay. Bluebird lights and he eats his fill. That busy, busy bird sings a happy trill. Tweet, tweet. Mmm, squeak, squeak, mmm. Little mouse looking at him. Squirrel skips into the brambles thick. That snacking squirrel gives a great big lick. Slurp, mmm, tweet, mmm, squeak, mmm. Now they're all enjoying blackberries. Look at that. See, even Squirrel. Fox trots in and takes a tasty nip. That feasting fox makes a joyful yip. Yip, mmm, slurp, mmm, tweet, mmm, squeak, mmm. They're all enjoying the blackberries. Lots of funny sounds. Can you guys do those? Deer strolls in with an appetite. That dining deer takes a great big bite. Chop! Mmm, yip, slurp, tweet, squeak, yummy blackberries. What animal do you think is going to enjoy them next? I'll turn the page. We'll find out. Can you guess from home? Bear! There you are, Bear. Bear tramps up. Bear, where? My favorite page. What's your favorite page? There. Nose to nose. Bear scares deer. Deer frightens fox. Uh-oh. Oh my. Look at that page. Lots going on. Fox shocks squirrel. Squirrel bumps bird. Bluebird does not look happy. Uh-oh. Bird muddles mouse. Mouse flings berries. There was a blackberry bush in a wee green wood when the berries are gone 'cause they taste so good. There you are again, Bear. Star of the show. And at the end, when we all gather in the Arboretum Library, again someday soon when we can. You can come in and look at this in more detail. There's lots of cool science facts about berries and animals and all kinds of things. Blackberry Banquet. The next one, you liked that, didn't you, Bear? The next one is about a bear again, but not about blackberries. It's about honey. How many of you know who this is? One of my personal favorites, Winnie the Pooh. Thought I'd add a classic today. Winnie the Pooh loves honey. He visits Rabbit. There's always honey at Rabbit's house. Yes. Pooh eats and eats and eats and eats. How many of you like honey? I know I do. Oh no, Pooh can't fit through the door. He is stuck. Can you guys see? Oh dear. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think Rabbit's going to get some help? Let's see. Oh, you ate too much, says Rabbit. Your door is too small, says Pooh. Christopher Robin reads to Pooh to help him feel better. That's very nice. See? That's a good friend. After a week, Pooh's friends all pull together, and out comes, he comes free at last. Look how many animals they got to help. The end. Winnie the Pooh. Hope that one made you smile. This one I personally picked out because my favorite thing, like I said, is the change of seasons. So Once Around the Sun. These are a wonderful set of poems about each month of the year. Here we go. Once Around the Sun. January, because that might be your favorite. January, when your sled hurries to the park after school and flurries you down the hill again and again until your nose is a dull, cold pain and your big toes start to complain about the hole in your sock, and you begin to wish your sled would stop whispering one more time and once, just once, pull you back up the hill. They look like they're having a great time. Things to look forward to, especially here in Minnesota. February, when a frost-feathered window pane tells your fingernail to carve the first letters of your name and then put a heart around it with just enough space for someone else's initials below yours. March, when a cheerleader no longer cartwheels inside your chest because the forecast is snow. And March is when your hands begin to dream. One hand dreams about being a fist thumping into the soft leather cup of a baseball mitt. Dreaming. Two palms dream about closing around a wooden bat, and 10 fingers dream about the pull of the wind as it catches a kite and carries it high in the sky and even higher. Gotta love March. I love kite flying. April is when the earth parades in a green so brand new you can almost hear it playing a tune, turning tight buds of forsythia bushes into tiny yellow trumpets, waking the dozen daffodils. And April is when your blue slicker collects beads of misty drizzle, and the walk to Grandma's house is a skip, splash dance. And when you get there, Grandma tells you how each spring she falls in love with the world all over again. And you understand. May is when the sky unties a secret song bag early every morning and the birds fly out chirping, warbling, trilling, twittering, tweet, sweetly caroling their own spring songs. Lots Lots of birds in that picture. June. June is when your math book is completely lopsided. The pile of unfinished pages on the right is skinny, but you need to use your left hand to hold down all the stuff you've already learned. And June is when the gentlest rustle of a leaf outside the window can drown out your teacher's voice, and every word of the spelling test spells summer vacation. We all know that feeling. Look at that. Fun in the sun. July. July is when my friends and I bottle slices of the sky, barefoot, holding mason jars, trapping tiny, flickering stars. July is when the Milky Way doesn't seem so far away, and I imagine there might be stars like ours and kids like me. If you haven't taken time to look up at the stars, maybe you can stay up late in your PJs and do that. I did that the other night. It's really, really fun. July. You can do it any time of the year. Just dress right. August. August is when it's so hot that even ants sweat, and the praying mantis shuttles its rakes along the whisker-rough stem of a sunflower that is trying to tickle the sky. Isn't that a fun way to think of a sunflower? September, the month we're in right now. September, when yellow pencils and brand new eraser hats bravely wait on perfect points, ready to march across miles of lines in empty notebooks. And September is when a piece of chalk skates across the board, swirling and looping until it spells your teacher's new name. October. October is something we can look forward to. It's when night guzzles up the orange sherbet sunset and sends the day to bed before supper. And October is when jack-o'-lanterns grin in the darkness and strange company crunches across the rumples of dry leaves to ring a doorbell. October is when you can be a ghost, a witch, a creature from outer space, almost anything. And the neighbors, fearing tricks, give you treats. November. November, when apples are not just apples, but families with names. Macintosh, Northern Spy, Rome, Golden Delicious, and Sweet Tango. That's my personal favorite. And November is when cranberries are rubies, sparkling pirate booty among the market bins full of chestnuts and turnips and bumpy yams. Don't you just love that? And November is when each pale turkey silently waits to be chosen, to be taken home, to be made wonderful again, stuffed and roasted, carefully basted, until with a fanfare of smells, it reappears in the dark, crispy skin to reign over Thanksgiving dinner. Now, if that page does not make you hungry. Honeycrisp is another one of my favorites, by the way, of apples. We'll talk more about those next week. December. December is when greedy night grows fat, gnawing away the day, until all that's left of afternoon is a small bare bone. Finally, the star-studded sky belly of night gets too full for even one more bite. At last, night's lost its appetite, and December is when, just as the shortest day is done, who remembers Earth, the distant sun? Yes, the sun remembers, turns back, and then Earth starts to loop around it once again. All of life's miracles. All those things we can count on. I love this winter page. It's very cozy. What do you see in that page? I see a snowman. What do you see? The end. You know, this one has a neat dedication. It says, "For kids with boundless affection, year after year after year, you keep me connected to the wonders of each day on our precious planet. There we go. Once around the sun. Our last one today. Oh, squirrel. We'll get Squirrel back up here with us. He's taking a little nap because he'll like this one. He's on the front cover. Where once there was a wood. Once there was a wood. A meadow. Don't you love the vibrant colors in all these images? I'm going to take my time so you can see what all of them. I love the rabbit. The butterflies. So bright. Maybe it'll encourage you to draw a picture today or paint. And a creek. Look at that. Fishing and dragonflies. Where once the red fox rested and closed his eyes to sleep. Do you take naps? Naps are very good for you. Where once the ferns unfurled and purple violets grew. Where once the woodchuck left his den to catch the morning dew. What else do you see in that page? See a grasshopper right there? Where once the horned owl hunted to feed her hungry brood. Look at that. Where once the heron fished and speared his glittering food. Where once the brown snake slithered and slipped out of sight. I hope you get to see some of these wonderful creatures on your next forest walk. Maybe you can take it at the Arboretum. Where once the raccoons rambled and rummaged in the night. Oh, look at that. See their masks? They are mischievous. Where once the berries ripened and waxwings came to feed. They beautiful birds. Exquisite. Where once the pheasants roosted and fed on nuts and seed. See that? Where once there was a wood, a meadow, and a creek. Sit houses side by side, 20 houses deep. The end. Again, lots of these books, for when you're a little bit older, have some very cool facts, or you can have somebody that comes with you to the library someday go through them. This talks about animal shelters, habitats, beneath they have the water. What else? Oh, all kinds of stuff. Look at that. That's in the book Where Once There Was a Wood. So, since we had a Winnie the Pooh book, I'm going to end today. We're done with reading, but something for adults that love Winnie the Pooh. So, adults and children alike, I should say, for families. I discovered a wonderful book called The Natural World of Winnie the Pooh that fits in perfectly, since we were talking about walking in the woods as being something that I know I love, and I bet you guys do too. This says a walk through the forest that inspired the 100-Acre Wood. Look at that. By Catherine Alto. I have just discovered her, and this is beautiful. So something to put on your wish list about all of the real woods. that Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin loved. Pretty cool, huh? I'm so glad you joined us today. So Squirrel and I are going to say bye. We'll see you next week to talk about apples. Okay. Have a great week. Bye. Get outside.